how many years?
I've had a number of chairs for about 5-6 years. I think I had my first wheelchair from the NHS about 7 years ago. So I've been in a lot of wheelchairs from the NHS.
And what was the problem with this wheelchair in particular for yourself? And then I'll go through some of the clinical reasons why it's not good for George.
This chair is just not very comfortable. I get tired being in it. I can't push it easily, and it's not very attractive really. It's ugly. It's robust, and I think even before you get in the wheelchair, you look at it. Right? This wheelchair looks so much better. It looks lightweight. It looks so much more fashionable than this, and this chair just I outgrew it really quickly.
Okay, shall I just go through some of the reasons why Whizz-Kidz is a very good chair. In fact, George is dead right. The NHS provide chairs that are very stable because they're risk averse and they don't like children taking risks and trying to move fast. So you actually have to you set the wheels well back so that they can't do a wheelie and so that they can't self-propel and move around fast. So George, going into comprehensive school, finds it extremely difficult all day to get around school and to keep up with his mates. I'm going to be a bit rude and tell him how badly he's sitting now, but I don't think he minds.
I can't see myself, but I know I'm sitting
but he knows, and we won't talk about it. But I mean, if you can see, his feet are virtually coming off the foot plates here. Don't need to move. And he's on a very standard, basic foam cushion, which doesn't give him any support. If you give a bit more support around his hips, then actually, if he can sit better and feel safer, then he'll function much better. So his schoolwork will be better, and just getting around will be easier. You can see here that his knees are very close together, so it's not keeping his hips in a good position for his long term. And also, when he's self-propelling, he tends to, I'm not going to push you off, but he tends to lean to that side. So as a charity and as therapists, what we're trying to do is to give him good posture, which will make him feel better. It will also help him with all his schoolwork and getting around. We want to make it easier for him and to improve his independence. But the thing is what do you do from a young person like this? Do you go into a very lightweight manual chair, which is what George has been talking about? Do you go to a power chair, which again would be quite good, and in fact education provided him with a power chair so that he could get around at lunchtime, so he could be independent in school, but he wasn't allowed to take it home. So that's great, let's be independent in school, but don't bother about being independent in the home. This is a young lad who wants to go out with his mates, not just be independent in school. So we have to look at the whole environment that George is in. A power chair wouldn't be of any use to him because Mum would have trouble getting it into the car, so to go different places it would be much more difficult. And a lightweight, we tried just a lightweight manual chair, but George did find that still quite difficult to self-propel. So luckily with Whizz-Kidz and with the support of yourselves, we're able to look at advanced technology really, and there aren't many people that are able to use these. But on this particular chair, they've got special wheels which are called emotion wheels, and basically there's power within these wheels. So George is finding it difficult to self-propel that. He would find it very difficult. He still finds it difficult with lightweight wheels, but by having these special wheels that got power in them, you just need to touch it and the chair moves. So it's much easier. And what we also did, and George will transfer and show you in a minute, but what we also provided for him was a cushion that's got some contour in it so that his legs are in a better position, and this special back, which just gives him a bit of support here, and also this lateral here, which keeps him in a much better position. And I think, George, what do you think about your posture? You've said this yourself.
I know my posture isn't very good. Honestly, I've had physiotherapists say that I sit badly, but of course I can't see it without a mirror, and I can actually, as soon as I get in that chair, I know I'm sitting better. I struggle with back pain for a few months before I got this chair, and I'm convinced that it's because I wasn't sitting very well in this chair. I think I was in school. I'd spend 5-6 hours in this chair. So if I wasn't comfortable in it, you know, it was kind of the most important thing that I felt comfortable in that. And it, as Judith has said, it did really increase my independence.
We'll get in a minute, but the key is, and I'm a physio, so I don't know if I told you that before, but yeah, we physios are terrible. It's going on about posture, and you've got to keep. But actually, it is really important. As a young man, we want to keep his spine nice and straight and keep his posture as good as possible. So I think, George, what we'll do is we'll transfer over, and then we'll talk about the difference in cost of these chairs as well. Is that all right?
Yes. Right. Yeah, sure. There we are. Yeah, fine. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I think we'll all agree. I mean, you can actually see more of George here than you can of chair, which, you know, as a young person, you actually want to see the young person, you don't want to see the chair. So I think, you know, even just aesthetically, it looks better. And I think, George, could you just tell some people tell them about how much more independence and what you've been able to do with this new chair?
As Judith has said, this chair, it assists me because these has batteries in the wheels, and it has batteries in the wheels which really help, because I think I've got it set on doing 30% extra. So at the moment I am doing 70% of the work while it provides 30% extra. So I told these guys 2 weeks ago that I went down to Pizza Express with my sister, and that is, there and back is 2 miles, and I have never ever done 2 miles in a wheelchair. I'd be lucky to do 200 yards, to be honest. But I was hardly out of breath. I could have done another 2 miles.
I'm still under marathon next.
But I know that wheelchairs are so important because, honestly, these are, as Ruth kind of suggested, these are the shoes. These are your partner. You get around by a wheelchair. So if these wheelchairs don't suit you, you're kind of stuck, really. And in my school, I do not need any assistance getting around from class to class anymore. I can do it independently, which is incredible because I guess you have never been to my school, but my school is
typical comprehensive, I suspect.
My school is 2 buildings, and it's a big site. It used to be 2 separate schools, and it takes to get from one end of one building to the other end of the other building. It takes 5-10 minutes, and I never used to be able to do that independently, and it's a breeze now. It really is. And this chair looks so, honestly, I went in on the first day, and for the first time in my life, my friends were actually interested in my chair. They loved it. They wanted to go in it, which health and safety didn't like. See, I have never ever, and it's kind of on the same wavelength, and because I have never been excited about a wheelchair before. It was a way of getting around. They were just a way for me to go from A to B. Whereas this, as soon as I was in that clinic getting my trial up for it, I wanted to be in it, and it is honestly fantastic. And I know it's a big cliche, but it has changed my life. And I've always thought that was a bit cheesy of people today, you know, are they exaggerating? But honestly, it has changed my life, and there's no other phrase I can think of. So, that's it.
Just also just like to say that, just so you can know the costs really of the provision. So the standard NHS chair will probably cost in the region of about £400, so they just churn them out and give them to the kids, and that's what we do, and we'll get on with it. The wheels, just the wheels on this chair, because of the advanced technology, is £4,000. The chair is a lightweight, and it's what we call a fixed frame, so it makes it sturdier and easier to self-propel, so it doesn't fold. The chair itself is £1,500, and the special back and the cushion comes to just under £1,000. So, and that's more than we would pay for a big power chair. But actually, a big power chair isn't right for George. This is what's right for George, and so it's all the fundraising that you all do that helps to fund and make the difference for George. So, thank you very much.
And I think it's back to me now, so
Michelle is French.